just getting started here, I want to do an introduction and kind of get a handle on just what is the Magellan Course by way of an overall introduction. And I know that for some of us, we've been in this now for about 12 weeks, but we haven't really talked about this directly. So when I think about that question, what is the Magellan Course? What is the project? What is this voyage we've embarked on? The first thing I think of is that, first and foremost, it's an experiment. And this experiment is ongoing, and it's being co-created by those who are participating at many different levels and many different scales. If I ask myself, what kind of experiment is it? I would say, perhaps to give it a color or a flavor, I would say it's an experiment in what we might call postmodernism or postmodern ways. So it's something new and emerging. Postmodern ways of what? We might say postmodern ways of thinking, postmodern ways of being, and this could also mean being together, not just an individual aspect. Postmodern ways, because this is a course of learning, and we talked about the learning circle and co-creating new and emerging type of learning. So I think that would be a start, but I think that for me the experiment really has a different frontier, because I think that this is being done in many different forms. And so the frontier aspect of it, I would say, and this is what gives the Magellan voyage, makes it a metaphor for us, because Magellan went into unknown territories, and that is, it's an experiment in not only postmodern, but a post-dialectic engagement. And what do I mean by that? The possibility of post-dialectic reasoning. The possibility of post-dialectic language. The possibility of post-dialectic modes of inquiry. The possibility of post-dialectic discourse. And these are not only a frontier, but these are all have to be innovations. They have to be designed and co-created. So that's what I would say is the frontier aspect of the Magellan Course. But I think that in addition to that, there's even another trajectory that I envision, and that trajectory has to do with this notion of a process ontology and the idea of an ontologics. And these, I think, are really something totally brand new and a kind of working hypothesis. So in subsequent videos, I would like to talk about exactly this. What kind of experiments lead to postmodern ways that may be already emerging? And how do that impacts ways of thinking, being, and learning? And these are things that we might be seeing elsewhere. And then to look at this boundary, this edge, or this frontier that the Magellan Course is hoping to cross. And what could it possibly mean to have a post-dialectic or a trans-rational kind of engagement, and how that would look like in terms of the way we reason, what types of languages are needed, what types of inquiries need to be designed, and what types of discourse need to be co-created. So this could be a first video. This area could be a second video with the different subsets. Gets a little more complicated. And then lastly, this whole notion of this trajectory, where we are going in terms of a process ontology that would inform, for example, our cosmology, the really big ideas, our spirituality, and how we make meaning, for example, would be one of these big ideas. And then whether this notion of ontologics can be facilitated and developed and actually taught. So to me, that's what the Magellan Course is all about, both as it arises today and looking at its frontiers and its trajectory.